and welcome to another super exciting episode of Make Your Food Your Medicine. My name is Itoro Ebright, your kitchen instructor, food as medicine specialist, and the author of the fast-selling book Make Your Food Your Medicine. In this one-of-a-kind culinary show, our aim is to promote healthy living through healthy eating. Like they say, if you don't make your food your medicine, you may end up making your medicine your food. Today, on this super exciting episode, we're going to be making a very sumptuous delicacy. Very sumptuous, very nutritious, very tantalizing, and this is actually making food your medicine. That's what we're doing today. And here we have unripe plantain, and we have scent leaf, also known as efirin in Igbo, Yoruba, chow in Igbo, and of course ntong in Akwa Ibom. And then we have mackerel fish, and then we have a banana pepper, we have dried shrimps, we have uziza leaf, we have our onions, we have our uyeyak, and also known as aridan pods, and then of course we have our paprika, dried paprika powder, we have our signature fish mix, and then we have of course our Himalayan pink salt, and we have our palm oil. So very interesting today. Okay, so here we have our unripe plantain. Well, unripe plantain is very nutritious, rich in potassium, rich in iron, rich in vitamin A, B, and of course ascorbic acid and phosphorus. For anyone who is diabetic or anyone who is obese, this is the right kind of food to eat. Okay, so as soon as we're done peeling this, we're going to wash and then cut into the sizes that we want. The size you cut into depends on what you would prefer. So we have our tray here. So what size? Okay, let me just cut this style. Like I said, it depends on what you want. You can cut any one that suits you. So I have this. Okay, so we have our pot ready. And so we're just going to put this into our empty pot, clean pot. So you see what it looks like. So just about a cup of water for this quantity of plantain, which is about maybe about 250 to 300 mils, depending on how thick you want it, and if you also want the porridge in it. So that depends on you really. And because this is unripe plantain, it's going to absorb a little more water than the regular quantity. So we have our plantain here already in the pot, and we're going to blend our onions and our banana pepper. The choice of pepper, it depends on what you want, and then that will determine what you will use. I'm actually going to use our banana pepper for this particular delicacy today, because of the flavor that it will give to it, apart from its health benefits. Our banana pepper is also very healthy, but we're going to add it not just because of the health benefits, but because of the flavor. I'm using 2 big bulbs of onions because, since we're not cooking with artificial seasoning, we need a lot of onions to help us add that excellent taste to our food. Onions is also very, very rich in antioxidants that are very healthy. It's very healthy for our body. Onions also contains cancer-fighting components. That's why it's important to take it as often as we can. Apart from the fact that it's useful for controlling blood sugar level. So we have our onions here, and then we have our banana pepper rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, and potassium. I'll put these 2 in a blender, and then I'm going to blend it so that we can add that in our already boiling pot. So we have this. I'm using all of this onions actually. Okay, so we have here our banana pepper and of course onions. Add a little bit of water so it can blend properly. Okay, so this is ready. You see the color already. This is also going to add to the reddish color we want. Remember, in this program, we always talk about eating oils in minimal quantity. So we're not going to have too much oil in this meal. So that's why we also need all this to give it the kind of color we want. So we're striking a balance between eating healthy and eating tasty meals. That's what we are about. So here we have our paprika. We also have a paprika in this bowl, is the same thing. So I'm putting about half a teaspoon of paprika into the cooking pot. Why am I adding paprika? Paprika is rich in vitamin A, improves cardiovascular performance, and then apart from that, it gives your food this powerful reddish color. So nobody even can tell if you added enough palm oil or not. So because I've added paprika and I've blended my pepper this way, giving my food a very fine, beautiful color, I'm just going to add less than 1 cooking spoon of palm oil. Okay, so we're done with that, and then we're going to take our blender away, and then we have our okpei, that's our fermented locust beans, very good for digestion and very tasty. Though it has this very cogent smell, but it gives your food a very distinct aroma, and that's why we are adding it. Today also we have something very interesting. Some of us know this because our grandmothers used to use this to cook those days. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about going back to nature. What nature knows, what our grandparents used to call food. That's what we should eat as well if we want to maintain the right kind of health. So this is Aridan pods, and the English name is actually a tongue twister. Tetrapura tetrapera. I hope I got that right. And then of course it's also called Aridan pods, and then in Ibibio, we call it Uyayak. Very interesting name. And so we're just going to cut a part of this and then wash and put into the food. So it will just infuse its aroma into the cooking pot. That's all we're going to do with this. So I'll do that right now. So this, wash thoroughly. Because of course we got this from the open markets. So it's important to wash thoroughly. Okay, so this is ready. You dip this into your pots of porridge, and then, well, let's just stir and see what we have. We have not added the palm oil, so we're going to add the palm oil now. You see how beautiful it's looking already? We have not added palm oil. So who says you can't do without some of these things? There are techniques you can use to improve your cooking. So that's about a cooking spoon, or less than a cooking spoon actually. And then we are going to add our okpei. We have not added this. I told us earlier about the okpei we want to add. This okpei serves as our, not just our local spice, but it's also going to give our food the kind of taste that we want it to have. And then of course we have our fennel seed powder. When it comes to fennel, both the bulbs, the stems, the leaves, the flowers, and even the seeds are all very, very nutritious. So this is the dried blended fennel. And then it relieves menstrual cramps, regulates blood sugar, it eliminates bad breath, and helps to boost immunity. Okay, so I will check if I can find the fennel before we blend it like this, so I can also show it to you. So I'm going to put just about half of a teaspoon of this. Wow, I opened it and then the aroma is something else. Oh wow. So if you're very used to using artificial spices, this can help you replace that. And then of course we have the dried shrimps. We're going to add this now. This is just to give our food enough things to chew, since we're not using meat, so we just want to have enough things to chew. This is already washed. So there's something I want to do before I go on to add our fish mix, and then of course our Himalayan pink salt. This is the fish we want to use. I want to spice it a bit so that it will be dry before we add into the cooking pot after we have done every other thing. So I'm just going to spice it. If you have been watching this program, you've been following me, you see the way we spice our fish. We do that with onion powder, paprika, and then a little bit of pepper soup spice and herbs. And then, of course, our Himalayan pink salt, which is exactly what I want to do right now. Okay, so we have this, a combination of onion powder, Himalayan pink salt, and then, of course, our pepper soup spice, and then the paprika. So we're going to grill this fish a bit before we add it to the cooking pot. We have our Himalayan pink salt. Then this is to help us grate. We're doing this simultaneously because we're trying to buy time. You know, I always say something about being efficient when cooking so you can maximize your time. So while I'm waiting for these two pots, I'm going to clear up a bit and then, of course, use the same time to get my vegetables ready. There's my scent leaf and then, of course, my uziza leaf. I want to get them ready for the pots while that is going on. And then I still have my fish mix here. I'm going to also add that just when I'm about to add the vegetables. So let me get my tray for... It depends on the quantity of vegetables you want to add. There are different kinds of vegetables you can use for this particular cooking, but I want to use these two today. There are different vegetables we use. You can use your pumpkin leaf, different kinds of leaves actually. It depends on what you want. So because I want to save time, I'm actually going to slice the two vegetables together. Also, the way you slice depends on what you want. The leaves are already washed, thoroughly washed before we slice. Remember, we always talk about washing your leaves before slicing. We don't slice leaves before washing. We don't promote that because we feel you will not be able to wash it as clean as you would have washed it if you washed before slicing. The leaves are ready. I'm just going to leave them here and then concentrate on the pot. Let me check what's happening. See. Wow. Can you see this? I hope you remember the quantity of palm oil we added. I want you to see this clearly. I hope you can remember the quantity of palm oil we added. So who said you can't get the kind of meal that you want? Talking about the color, talking about the taste, talking about the things you want to put in it. There's still something we have not added, which is our mackerel fish, our grilled mackerel. We're going to add that soon. Don't forget this, our Aridan Pods is here doing its work for us as well. So we'll cover this and then we'll check our fish. Oh, voila. Just turn the other side and then wait a bit and then we'll bring it into the pot. Okay, so our fish is ready and then we're just going to break that to smaller parts and then we add to our cooking pot. We're going to try to debone it. So we have our fish ready and we're just going to add this into the already boiling pot. Whoa! You can eat right and also eat tasty. We are here to strike that balance for you. Sumptuous and interesting. So there are two more things I'm going to add. First, I'm going to add our signature fish mix. So about a cooking spoonful. So our plantain pottage is ready. Remember, I said I always tell you that when it comes to vegetables, do not cook them for too long. That's also why we're adding the vegetables now. As soon as we add these vegetables, we're going to allow the pot steam on. We're going to allow the steam on the fire again for about a minute. In fact, less than a minute, about 30 seconds. And then just that, the food is ready. So we're leaving this for 30 seconds. After that, the food is ready. Okay, whoa. So we have this, it's ready. And we're just going to mix our vegetable. And then, of course, we'll bring down our cooking pots. I decided to use mackerel fish today. You can use any other fish. It depends on what you would prefer. Okay, so this is ready. Okay, so we have our yummy, beautiful delicacy. So it's possible. It's possible. I wish you were here to have a taste of this delicacy, but it's very possible. So we have this ready, and I want to have a taste of this. I really wish you were here. It will be so difficult for you to believe me, except you try this at home. And I want you to be like some of those who have called on this show. call to say, oh, I tried what you cooked. Oh, I tried it and it came out so nice. I couldn't believe it. That's what I want you to do. Go try this on your own and give me feedback. Give me a call, send an SMS, reach us on WhatsApp, and give us your feedback. I'm sure you're going to tell me how tasty this is. We've come to the end of the first segment, but the program is not over yet. Don't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, if you have other family members, call them to join you, because I'm going straight to the juice kitchen and there's something powerful you need to learn at the juice kitchen, and you don't want to miss out on this at all. So we're done with this segment, but before I leave you, I'm going to tell you about this book, Make Your Food Your Medicine. It's a book I authored a couple of years ago. This is the second edition. The first print sold out in no time. If you do not have this book in your library, you're doing yourself a lot of disservice. Most of these things I've taught you today, you'll find them in this book. So I look forward to getting your feedback. Our numbers are scrolling. Social media handles. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We have so many other things to teach you, so many materials to let you have. You see, this is a very informative program. And that's what we promise to keep doing, bringing you close to health. We're bringing you a step closer to health each time. So our encouragement is stay on this program, same time, same station, every week.